Race 5 of the British Truck Racing Championship here at Snetterton. The grid reads like this. It's Ricky Collett in pole position in the number 95 MAN alongside Stephen Powell. Second row Bradley and Ryan Smith. Ryan will start as the favourite from there, I'm sure. Row 3, Stuart Oliver and Simon Reed. Then on row 4, John Bowler and earlier winner David Jenkins. The reverse of race 3, the top 8 from race 3 results set the grid for this one. Completing the top 10, Tom O'Rourke and Neil Yates, although Neil will start from the back as a newcomer. And then we've got Craig Reed and Michael Oliver. Hopefully Craig is there after his problems earlier on. Then there's a gap, and we've got Division 2. John Powell starts at the front of Division 2 in the DAF alongside Jim Bennett, Simon Cole and Adam Bintz, and then Craig Evans and Paul Rivett round out the grid. 15 minutes to come then. It's a bit slippery out there, still a few drops of rain falling. TRP pace truck leading them round. Ricky Collett, the man from Yorkshire, over 30 years of truck racing experience. Longest serving driver on the grid here this weekend, along with Stuart Oliver. Paul McCumsky is another long-serving driver. We see him out occasionally in his Volvo, although he has just sold that truck. I believe it's been bought by Simon Cole's team. We'll hopefully see that out again next year. There's John Powell. We ride on board with the number 41 of Simon Cole in the Iveco. Jim Bennett ahead of us. Final 15 minutes of racing, then let's hope the rain stays away for this one. Can anyone stop Ryan Smith making it 4 wins out of 5 this weekend? We shall see. Paul Rivett going for 4 wins in Division 2 as well, as he continues to take the fight to John Powell and Adam Bintz for the title there, but surely no one can stop Ryan Smith from marching to an 8th consecutive Division 1 title now. TRP pace truck moves into pit lane. And here we go. The revs are up. Red lights are on. Final truck action of the weekend here at Snetterton gets underway now. Power comes on and they're away. Good start by Stephen Powell from the outside of the front row. The number 3, John Powell, leads away in Division 2. What's going to happen as they get into the first corner at Ridges? Bradley Smith still on the inside. John Bowler has a look up the inside. They're all just about going to make it round in Division 1. Division 2 behind them. Good start by John Powell. Good start by Simon Cole as well. Tom O'Rourke getting a bit sideways in the 86. We ride on board with Simon Cole away in second place in Division 2. Ricky Collett, I think, Stephen Powell, sorry, has held his lead into the hairpin. The 2 yellow MANs. Ryan Smith is on their tail, snapping at the back of Ricky Collett there for second place. Side by side for 4. That's a brave move up the inside by Simon Reed on Stuart Oliver at Palmer. He gets through. Not the best of starts for Bradley Smith. He's lost a couple of places in the 46. Behind him is David Jenkins. As they charge their way down towards Agostini. Stuart Oliver's in behind Simon Reed in 5th position. David Jenkins trying to make a move on Bradley Smith. John Bowler behind them, then Michael Oliver, Tom O'Rourke. John Powell leads Division 2 ahead of Cole, Bintz, Rivett, Evans. There's Neil Yates and Jim Bennett at the back. Everybody round the first few corners okay then. This final race of the weekend here at Snetterton. Dust being kicked up there by Simon Reed among others. It is Stephen Powell looking for the 2nd Division 1 win of his career. Multiple Division 2 champion. Ryan Smith getting through on the inside. Collett went wide at Oggies and Ryan Smith through into P2. Now, how long is it going to take him to catch the man from Kent? Stephen Powell ahead of him. The HGV Direct Cameramatics sponsored MAN. Not very long by the look of it as they come through towards the bridge. Ricky Collett still there in 3rd position. The best he's had this year is a 6th place. Stephen Powell has had a few podiums, but he's yet to win this year. It's 1 win in Division 1 at Thruxton last season. Can he hold on? Bouncing off the curb there, Ricky Collett in 3rd. Then we've got the 89 of Simon Reed in the Iveco in 4th position. Through towards Cora. Stuart Oliver in P5 ahead of David Jenkins. Bradley Smith is 7th. John Bowler 8th. Michael Oliver is 9th. They come through to complete the opening lap. Looks like we don't have Craig Reed out there, unfortunately. His truck gave up the ghost in race 4, sadly. So Ryan Smith ready to attack for the lead, then he'll try and get alongside Stephen Powell as they come through to complete lap number 1. Will he get the move done before the turn into Riches? He won't get round the outside there, I don't think, on the turn. And the MAN will just about hold the lead on the inside. You really get the sensation of the speed there as they charge into that right-hander. But Ryan Smith's got the cutback on the exit there. He'll go for the inside into the Wilson hairpin. He's surely going to get through here. Onto the brakes they go for Wilson's. Well, that didn't take long, did it? First couple of corners of the second lap and Ryan Smith into the lead once again. Well, he's going to clear off. Well, yesterday we said he was clearing off into the sunsets. A bit more cloudy today. Ricky Collins still going well, holding that third position. Third place is still the number 95 of Collins, ahead of the 89 Simon Reed, 7 of Stuart Oliver. And a little bit of a subdued day for the number 7, 10 times champion. Been a good consistent day for Simon Reed. Great shame for his brother Craig. Repeated problems this weekend and that collision with Michael Oliver, who's further back in the order in P9 at the moment. Started at the back of Division 1 this time. Stephen Powell still clear in second place, looking to equal his best result of the season, second at Thruxton. Here's the battle in Division 2. It's John Powell currently leading the Division 2 pack. This is Adam Bint ahead of his great rival Paul Rivette. We're on board with Simon Cole, who's behind these two, and Rivette on the inside. This is coming through towards Oggies and then Williams. Bint holds him off through the infield loop. And out towards the Bentley Straight, where the speed mounts up to 100 miles an hour. Simon Cole in P4 in Division 2. Lost a couple of spots on the first lap. Down the straight they go towards the bridge. Can Paul Rivette pull ahead on the outside of Adam Bint? Yes, he can. Big rivalry developing between these two this season. Paul Rivette, the new sensation of truck racing, moving across from saloon cars. He's pulling away from Adam Bint in the Volvo. Behind them, Cole. Then we've got Craig Evans, the number 10. A better showing from Simon Cole here, the number 41 in the Iveco. Neil Yates behind them, the Division 1 runner. Jim Bennett at the tail of the field in the Seth Atkinson. Great view here from inside the cab of the number 41 Iveco. John Powell, though, has got a handsome lead in Division 2. Brian Smith is already nearly 2.5 seconds clear of Stephen Powell. He's just in a different class this weekend, Ryan Smith, and I'm sure if the race hadn't been checkered flag a couple of minutes early in race 3, he would have risen even higher up the order. Ricky Collins still holding that third place, looking for his best results of the season so far, chased by Simon Reed. Really chased by Simon Reed. There is the hairpin right on the rear bumper. Behind them in P5, that is Stuart Oliver, holding off David Jenkins. Finally broke his duck for the season in race 3. And behind them, Bradley Smith. Flashes of brilliance yesterday, but a quieter day today. John Bowler is 8th. Paul Rivette looking for another Division 2 victory, but he's got to catch John Powell first. They were separated by about 5.5 seconds last time over the line. Just over 8 minutes of this race to go. Despite the wet weather, the crowd sticking it out. Oh, Simon Cole's had a spin. That's at Oggies. Great shame for Simon. We'll try and see what happened there. He was going well up there in the top 4 in Division 2. Craig Evans was near him, so we'll wait and see if we can see what's happened there. He gets back up to speed down the Bentley Straights. action into the left at Brundle. The leaders go over the line. Lead gap is up to 4.3 seconds now. Ryan Smith is lapping nearly 2 seconds a lap quicker than everyone else. Ricky Collett still third behind Stephen Powell. There's John Powell still leading Division 2. See if we can see what happened here for Simon Cole. Didn't catch the beginning of that. Craig Evans, as we said, was near him, so whether there was contact we didn't see. Neil Yates just avoided him there as well. And then Cole sliding his way around on the grass to rejoin. Well, there's Ryan Smith, heading for win number 4. Here's a battle further back. Michael Oliver's got ahead of John Bowler. That's for P8. Just done that at the hairpin. Next, tried to catch Bradley Smith in the number 46, the MAN. MAN, the numerically dominant make in truck racing. A couple of Volvos out there. Got the Daimler of Ryan Smith, a few Ivecos, the DAF of John Powell. The trusty Seth Atkinson for Jim Bennett at the back of the field at the moment, trying to catch Simon Cole after his spin. There's one of the Volvos, that's Adam Bintz. Volvo White Aerodyne is the name of that truck. Of course, the Volvo White, the American Volvo, effectively. I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, Volvo Whites were very popular. The Volvo White Road Boss. What a great name for a truck that is. The late great Slim Borgen used to race those. George Allen as well, based in London. His brother Les, Mark Viner, Tim Baddeley. Quite a few other names I remember racing the old Volvo Whites. Volvo VNL there for Stuart Oliver. Looks a bit like the old Phoenix MANs. They were the same shape as that. There are plenty of those in the European Championship. The German competitors like Heinz-Werner Lenz and Gerd Körber used to favour those. The other more standard MAN, the star in them was Hans-Georg van der Marwitz, the German truck journalist. Gunter Spindler from Austria. There were the Sisus as well. Jokke Kallio and Reimer Soderman from Finland. Simon Cole slowing up in the Iveco by the look of things. Great shape for Simon, he never seems to have any luck. Just under 5 minutes of this race to go now. I think we definitely need a Stars of the Past meeting for truck racing. I noticed in our YouTube comments earlier, and somebody mentioned, do they ever have American trucks raced in the championship? I remember Richard Walker used to race at Kenworth, and there was a huge Peterbilt raced in the early days of truck racing by a Dutch driver. His name escapes me, but I've definitely got photographs somewhere of that truck racing at Brands Hatch. Goodness knows how it got round Druid's Hair. I think it was Ad van Coverden who had the Kenworth, the Peterbilt rather. Richard Walker's Century Oars Kenworth, of course, as we mentioned earlier in the weekend, written off at Zolder in a gigantic start line accident. Here's the battle in Division 2, meanwhile, as we move out of our nostalgia trip. John Powell being reeled in by Paul Rivette. It's got just over 3.5 minutes to attack the DAF. Ryan Smith now leads by some 6.5 seconds. He's still pulling away by over 2 seconds a lap from the rest of the field. Third in Division 2 is still Adam Bintz. He's about nearly 6 seconds back now. Similar distance back to Craig Evans. Simon Cole's still going after that spin, but a long way behind, and the Division 2 drivers are catching Tom O'Rourke now in 10th place. Neil Yates is still running, so he continues to learn the sport. Still Smith, Powell, Collett, Reed and Oliver, your top 5. So no change among the leaders. There goes Ryan Smith over the line. A couple of laps to go now. Simon Reed still can't get past Ricky Collett for that third position. John Bowler. There's Neil Yates. It's Neil Yates' recovery, based down in Kent. It was great to see some of his huge American recovery vehicles on display at Convoy in the Park at Donington. John Newell, the European truck racing driver, had some of his vintage fleet of trucks on display there as well. Let's see John racing back in the UK at Donington, contesting the FIA European Truck Racing Championship this year, as is Mark Taylor, number 81. Ricky Collins still resisting the pressure, as is John Powell for the lead of Division 2. Looking for his second win of the weekend as he keeps up his championship challenge. Here comes Simon Reed. He knows he's quicker than Ricky Collett, he just can't get the line away from him. Collett wants his first podium of the year. The best he's had this year is a 6th place. Paul Rivett, he's never going to go around the outside. It's Agostini, sure. You struggle to do that in a car, never mind a truck, but Paul Rivett's going to have a go. Nope, goes out wide over the curb, he keeps his foot in. He keeps his foot in, he's going for it. Look at this. It's Hamilton though, John Powell gets the line, keeps the lead. Great stuff in Division 2. Less than a minute left on the clock now. It's going to be win number 4 for Ryan Smith. He's nearly 10 seconds ahead now. He's just at a 2:23.883. The next quickest lap in this race is Ricky Collins with a 2:25.6. That's how dominant Ryan Smith has been here this weekend. Still John Powell continues to hold off Paul Rivett. Fastest lap in Division 2 is with Rivett, 2:29.7. So he'll likely get the point for fastest lap. There's Adam Bint on his own in 3rd. There's Craig Evans in 4th in the MAN. We're into the last lap now. The Division 1 runners have already gone over the line. Ryan Smith has pulled away by another 2 seconds. A squeal of tyres there through the last corner. That was Adam Bint, I think. 2 Division 2 leaders still together, separated by a 1/4 of a second. Focus on the Division 2 battle for this final lap, because Division 1 already long since decided when Ryan Smith took the lead on the second lap, pretty much. He has been so dominant this weekend. Paul Rivett up the outside into the hairpin. Is he going to get the cutback here? On the next corner is a left-hander at Palmer, as the DAF of John Powell still hangs on. Stephen Powell still second, and are we going to see a podium for Ricky Collett? That will be a very popular result. It's been some time since he stood on the podium. Just needs to hold off Simon Reed. We concentrate for now on the battle of DAF against MAN, and there's contact as they go into Agostini. See, that's damaged the rear bodywork on John Powell's truck. They head out of Agostini. Still Rivett keeps up the pressure. Division 1 leaders will shortly be taking the checkered flag. There is Ryan Smith up towards Coram. Nobody within sight of him. There's the battle for second. Still Ricky Collins soaking up the pressure from Simon Reed. Pick up Division 2 again in just a moment. But it's going to be 4 out of 5 for Ryan Smith, continuing his march towards an 8th consecutive British Truck Racing Division 1 title. Win number 15 of the season for Ryan Smith. Total dominance. 4 out of 5 here at Snetterton. I'm sure if the 3rd race this weekend had gone a little longer, he would have been on the podium there as well. Still the Division 2 battle goes on. I can tell you Stephen Powell has taken second. Ricky Collett gets his first podium of the year, holding off Simon Reed. But now it's all about Division 2. Can John Powell hang on? Paul Rivette's going for it. Look at this, up towards Corham. He's got the inside line. Coming out of the bomb hole. Powell got sideways. Rivette's going through. Right in the last couple of corners, Paul Rivette takes the lead from John Powell into Murray's. Can John Powell get him back on the run to the line? I don't think he can. Oh, John Powell will be so frustrated. Paul Rivette bringing himself right into title contention this weekend. And he's going to snatch win number 4 of the weekend. Rivette wins it on the last corner virtually ahead of John Powell. And Adam Mint will take 3rd in Division 2. We'll confirm the rest of the results in a moment. Great battle to right to the end there in Division 2 to round off the weekend. But there is one man in a different league here at Snetterton this weekend, lapping 2 seconds a lap quicker than everyone else in that last race. Flying Ryan Smith. Check out the provisional result then of our final British truck race of the weekend. Ryan Smith the winner by nearly 14 seconds in the end over Stephen Powell, and getting the fastest lap of the race by nearly 2 clear seconds as well. Powell second, well done Ricky Collett, a fine 3rd place, holding off Simon Reed all the way. Stuart Oliver in 5th ahead of David Jenkins, Bradley Smith and Michael Oliver with John Bowler and Tom O'Rourke completing the top 10. Paul Rivette snatching the Division 2 win, just 2 corners from home from John Powell, then Adam Bint and Craig Evans. Behind them was Neil Yates in the final Division 1 finisher, 16th place for Simon Cole and 17th for Jim Bennett.